I'm not trying to scare you. You're already scared, all right? I'm scared. But I'd rather risk my life out there than spend the rest of it in here. This is a quote from a book that I'm reading called The Maze Runner by James Dashner, said by a character named Thomas. Thomas says this early in The Maze Runner when he realizes that he is trapped in a place that is safe but not free. Outside lies a maze, mysterious, dangerous, but with a chance of answers for freedom. Though afraid, Thomas chooses the maze as he understands that a life spent hiding is a life already lost. Now, you might be wondering, why in the world am I referring to a quote said by a fictional character? Well, even though it's from fiction, I believe that a lot of us can relate to this quote. Thomas mentioned that he was scared, but he took the risk anyway. And we might be scared to try something new too. But just like Thomas, we have to take the risk. We have to learn to go beyond our comfort zone. Let me tell you my story. Ever since I was a child, my parents always taught me to try everything. They introduced me to rock climbing, crocheting, sewing, playing chess, playing musical instruments such as the piano, violin, and guitar even, horseback riding, swimming, and all sorts of other stuff. But these pictures are just pictures. They don't tell the whole story. Did you know that on my very first swimming competition, after an excruciatingly long journey of 2 hours, and then waiting another 2 hours for my turn, that's a total of 4 hours, I didn't even get wet. Can you guess why? It's because I was scared. I was too nervous to jump into the water. But from that experience, I learned. On my next competition, I jumped. My form probably looked very bad. I probably looked like a frog there, but what matters the most is that I started. Starting is the hardest part. Once I started, once I jumped, the rest follows easily. Now, time skip to 3 years ago, I got an information about a new school that's offering a scholarship, full scholarship. I had never heard of this school before. And once when I asked some of my friends, none of them had ever heard of it either. At first, I was scared to apply. I was worried that it was fake, that it was all just some kind of scam. So, after making sure on the internet, I applied anyway. Why? Because, like my mom used to say, isang-isang berhadiah. If I failed, oh well, nothing to lose. In fact, I even gained some experience. I learned about how to apply for scholarships, interviews, presentations. And if I succeed, well, that means, yay, I did it. Unfortunately, not everyone's like that. Now, you may say, oh, but I tried something new. I bought a new blind box. Or maybe I tried a new viral cafe. That's trying something new, right? Well, I hate to break it to you, but that's not the trying something new that I meant. That is just fear of missing out, FOMO, or what us Indonesians like to call them FOMO or POMO. But not all FOMO are bad. For example, if you see your friend entering a competition and you join them, that's a positive FOMO. That's still trying something new. So, how do we differentiate this FOMO and trying something new? That's easy. FOMO doesn't need your commitment. It doesn't need you to sacrifice anything significant. Trying something new, on the other hand, is a whole different story. It needs your commitment. It needs your responsibility. It needs you to sacrifice something big. Your free time, money, perhaps, and also your energy. So, here's a question for you. Have you ever felt numb before? Have you ever felt like life is just so boring and that there's nothing interesting going on in your life? You just wake up in the morning, you go to school, you go to work, you do your tasks, do your homework, you go home, go to sleep, and repeat that same cycle over and over again. Aren't you tired of the routine? It's a safe life. But is it a life that you want to live? Is it a life that is worth living? What's the point of life if you're slowly dying inside? Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of a penguin from the Werner Herzog documentary, Encounters at the End of the World. And this penguin went viral a while ago. And it's not because he's cute. It's not because he's the same as every other penguin. No. It's because he's different. It's because he did something that no other penguin has ever done before. He separated himself from his colony, from his food source, and started a journey into the center of Antarctica instead. He probably did that because he was sick of routine. He wanted a change, a new beginning. He wanted to find a meaning in life. Just like Thomas. And just like you. Because you might be that penguin right now, contemplating whether or not to take that English course or to start a new business. My advice, don't be scared, just do it. As long as you put all your commitment, your effort in it, trust me when I say that it will work out eventually. Trying something new isn't really that hard. You just have to start. Just start for 5 minutes, for 1 hour, 1 month, 1 year. Don't think about making mistakes. Don't think about embarrassing yourself. Failing is part of learning. And besides, I did that, didn't I? I misspelled the title. And what happened? Well, maybe you think I'm crazy, maybe you think I'm stupid or something, but that's it. Again, failing is part of the learning process. Because when you try something new, when you start, when you put all your commitment and effort into it, even when others make fun of you, even when you make mistakes, even when you embarrass yourself, even when other people think that you are crazy, you will see yourself in a different way. Because you're not just existing. You are living. You're living a life that you want. You're living a life that is worth living. You're living a life like those influencers, celebrities, actors, characters even in books and movies that you envy because they have a life that feels so main character, that looks so interesting, looks so put together. So remember, you don't have to wait for someone to convince you to do something. You don't have to wait for someone else to start and you trailing behind. You just have to start for you. You have to find what's good for you and do that. Stop FOMO, start for me. Come on everyone, say it with me. Stop FOMO, start for me. Once again, stop FOMO, start for me. Thank you for believing in yourself. I'm Sky, and this is me